So, did you know that 300 years ago, for the people living right here in Nagano, the most important road in the entire country wasn't built for samurai or wealthy lords. It was a road built for one simple thing: to bring salt. Seriously, back then, they had to bring every single grain of salt up from the ocean on foot because Nagano is not facing any ocean. They could not get any salt. We're talking about regular people walking over 120 kilometers through the mountains, carrying up to 30 kilograms of heavy salt on their back. And that road was absolutely brutal. It was full of constant danger, wild animals, bandits, mudslides or avalanche, and unpredictable mountain weather. But despite all of that risk, people made this journey daily. Because in a completely landlocked mountain region like Nagano, if you ran out of salt, your whole town would literally die. So it was a matter of pure survival. So to remember this incredible hardship of those ancestors, a beautiful mountain village called Otari holds a massive festival every year on May 3rd. They open up this ancient trail and you get to trek 9-kilometer section of the exact same path people walked 300 years ago, complete with traditional outfits from Edo period that you can actually rent yourself. And along the trail, local communities have set up food stalls. There's traditional entertainment, breathtaking alpine views, and you can end up making amazing friends with people from all over the place just by walking together. Now, even though the official festival is on May 3rd, you can actually come out and hike this historic road anytime you want, except during heavy snow season. It's a deeply unique moving experience that will stay with you long after you go home. So today, let me take you on a journey and tell you all about the incredible history and adventure of the Salt Road. And I hope someday you get to trek this road. So let's get started.
Nagano is full of secrets, and we're just getting started. Like and subscribe to join me on this journey.
So the Salt Road started at a bay in a city called Itoigawa. People took salt from the Sea of Japan and began a long trip. They carried the salt to a village called Otari. That's where I attended the big festival. Then the salt went to Hakuba, where they have another festival, Salt Festival, the very next day. Now, a long time ago, people carried the salt even further inland to Matsumoto. And the journey finally ended in a place called Shiojiri. So the name Shiojiri actually means the end of the salt. That's a very long way to walk. When I heard this, I wondered, how did people survive much longer time ago? I'm talking about Jomon people, right? The original Japanese people who lived 13,000 years ago. The salt roads where professionals carried salt every day started only about 300 years ago. But what about the Jomon people? Did they have a salt road? What do you think? The answer kind of surprised me. Long ago, Jomon people didn't really need the salt road because they ate wild meat. Those foods gave them the salt their bodies needed. But later, during Yayoi time, people started eating mostly rice and grains. And grains have a lot of potassium, but they don't have enough sodium. Suddenly, for the people living in the mountains of Nagano, getting salt from the sea became a matter of life and death. Salt was like gold to people in Nagano. There's a famous samurai story that shows just how important salt really was. During a time of war, a leader named Takeda Shingen lived in the mountains of Nagano. His enemies blocked his supply lines, so he couldn't get any salt. Then, his biggest rival, a leader named Uesugi Kenshin, did something really shocking. He stopped the blockade and sent salt to his enemy.
Kenshin said that a samurai should fight with swords on the battlefield, not by starving innocent people. The path we walked on during the festival is the very same road Kenshin used to send that life-saving salt to Takeda Shingen. This story shows that the Salt Road wasn't just a path for food. It was a powerful tool that could change the outcome of a war. Now, there's another road here in Nagano that is very popular among tourists, the Nakasendo, also known as the Samurai Road. You might have heard of it. Both roads are here in Nagano, but they played very different roles. While Nakasendo was for lords and samurai traveling to Edo, which is modern-day Tokyo, the Salt Road was the path of survival for the regular people who lived here. To me, the Salt Road feels more real because it tells the story of everyday life. Have you heard of Edo period? So this is when Japan had peace for over 260 years. Before Edo period, there was constant war between different regional lords trying to control the land. So during the peaceful Edo period, the government knew that whoever controlled the salt controlled the country. They set up guard houses called bansho to watch everyone. And you'll get to visit this famous guardhouse as you walk on this Salt Road trail. The government used these gates to control money and people. Guards checked every bag of salt coming into the mountains to make sure the government got its tax money. They also watched for people carrying weapons. The government was afraid of rebellion, so they used the salt supply as a weapon to control people. And if you tried to sneak salt past this gate without permission, the punishment was very strict, even death. So during the festival, I saw a drum performance unlike anything else. The performers wore animal skins and carried big knives. They danced with so much energy. These dancers represent the Matagi. They were traditional winter hunters who rule these mountains. When deep snows blocked the roads, the Matagi were the only ones who knew the secret paths of the Salt Road. They were tough guys who could kick ass when they needed to. They navigated through dangerous snow trails, helped the herd, and protected the salt carriers from wolves or bears and even dangerous bandits. The wild drumming I saw was a very old tradition, a prayer to nature to keep everyone safe while they traveled over these deadly mountains. So humans didn't carry all that heavy salt by themselves. They had big helpers, oxen. Now these animals were the heavy-duty machines of the Salt Road. There was a special bond between the drivers called ushikata and their oxen. At night, they stayed in special inns. The drivers and their animals slept under the same roof on dirt floors. They shared the same space to stay warm and safe from the freezing cold. You can actually visit one of these historic inns if you walk on the trail. It still stands looking just like it did in the old days. Today, it is a museum where you can see exactly how the drivers and their oxen lived hundreds of years ago. Otari village didn't just host a hike, they put on a true community celebration. We even celebrated a beautiful surprise. A couple who got engaged at this festival 20 years ago came back to celebrate their wedding anniversary. It was very special to see. The local school kids also played music, and we all stood together and sang the official Nagano anthem. And all along the trail, local people set up booths with delicious food. They were so friendly and welcoming. While walking, I saw a woman wearing a shirt with a beautiful message written like a poem. It said, "The Salt Road, the joy of hiking, the joy of meeting. That one sentence says it all. When you walk these 9 kilometers, you aren't just looking at pretty mountains. You're part of something bigger, honoring the people who carried the salt and kept everyone alive. And it's a day full of happiness and people caring for each other. If you want to skip the crowded city and come and meet the local people and experience real Japan, mark your calendar for next year on May 3rd. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. I put some links below in the description if you want to learn more about the Salt Road Festival. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, see you on the trail.